whatever it is, whatever they thought they were going to accomplish, they've done the opposite. Today is another stain on our democracy, another gift from the Democrats to help ensure victory for Republicans in 2024. The level of desperation in their tactics knows no bounds. The Democrat Party woke up and chose fascism. The Democrat Party said, to hell with democracy, and we are next. We're all next. But are you paying attention yet? Let's bring in Christina Bobb. She's the attorney for Donald Trump and attorney for Donald Trump 2024. Christina, thank you so much for joining us. So you watched this sham, this show trial happening. You looked at that panel, Schiff and Liz Cheney and crying Adam Kinzinger and the other guy, Jamie Raskin. I didn't see any GOP or conservative represented in the whole place.
No, there was none whatsoever. And the two token Republicans who aren't actually Republicans aren't even going to be in office in a few days because nobody wants them there. So this is very much an affront to the American people. They don't care what the American people want. They are trying to force their will and their cabal's will on the American people before they're tossed from office. So no, this was a power grab with the few remaining days they have left.
Yeah, power grab. And, you know, it just baffles me that this committee that was thrown together by Pelosi didn't allow anyone like Jim Jordan, who wanted to be on the committee, or some of the more, vocal Republicans. No, that wasn't allowed. So why does this hold? You're a lawyer. Why, this is clear. None of this stuff would happen in a courthouse. Why are we letting this happen in front of the American people?
Well, I think you're exactly right. I don't think this holds any water. One, it's not a lawfully constituted committee in the first place. So there's that. Then their report that they're turning over to the Department of Justice trying to, recommend charges for Donald Trump also doesn't matter. We know that Merrick Garland has already appointed a special prosecutor in Jack Smith to go ahead and investigate all of this anyway. So the committee's report really doesn't do anything. Jack Smith is already working on this. All this is a political stunt. It's a show trial. It's meant to harass and intimidate political opposition from the halls of Congress. It is the most un-American move we can imagine. It's an affront to our Constitution. It's an affront to the American people. And I don't think the American people are going to stand for it.
I don't think so either. I mean, if you have any character and you're an independent, forget the Democrats. Right. They're lost. Liberals are lost. But if you're an independent, you have any character bone in your body, you'll say this is a joke. This could happen to anyone. It's Trump this time, but who's to say it's not someone else the next time? If you can stack a committee with one-side-minded people, of course you're going to come up with criminal referrals, and God forbid the DOJ touches this thing at all, let alone with a 10-foot pole. Christina, how is Trump handling all of this, and especially when it's on TV? I know he doesn't like that when he sees it on TV.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody likes to have lies spread about them, but he is handling it like a champ, just like Donald Trump always has. This is not the first time they've thrown something wrong and illegal at Donald Trump. We saw it back in 2015 with Crossfire Hurricane, and then 2016, the Russia hoax, 2017, the Mueller investigation, then the first impeachment, the second impeachment, lying to the FISA court. The list goes on and on. Ukraine, we've seen this probably close to a dozen times now, maybe actual 7 or 8 quote unquote investigations into President Trump. None of them have held any water. This one doesn't hold any water either. And I believe this one will have the same fate as the others. It's not going to go anywhere. And even if they do try to bring charges or try to do something, they don't actually have a case. You have to actually have evidence. In the congressional hearings, they could call whoever they wanted and have whoever they wanted say whatever they wanted. Oh, by the way, I myself also testified, and they didn't play my testimony. They didn't play Don Jr.'s testimony. They didn't play any of the testimonies of the people who had exculpatory information and showed that this had nothing to do with the president. They picked and chose the sound bites that they wanted to show the American people and pretend as if that's a trial. Well, you can't do that in court. So the Department of Justice doesn't have the luxury of pretending the evidence is whatever they want to make it. They have to actually use real evidence. So the Department of Justice isn't going to have it as easy, and I just don't think this is going to go anywhere.
Yeah, amazing. Christina, I appreciate your time coming on, and we'll continue to go, especially when we talk a little bit about Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, special investigator, see where he's at. Do you have any final thought on that before I move forward?
I think it's going to turn out just like the other ones. It's going to lead to nothing, and I expect to see Donald Trump in the White House in 2024.
Christina, Bob, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you back again soon. Appreciate your time.